This girl thinks.
Hello, and welcome back, or welcome to the This Girl Thinks podcast. Oh, wait, what? I'm your host, the one and the only Caitlin Collette, the one and the only. This girl thinks a lot, like a lot. She's never had empty, no thoughts, and she doesn't plan to be. She's got lots of ideas, constantly flowing, and opinions to share. So grab your tea, your coffee, your whatever, and let's get chatty. Guys, today we have our first live audience. Ivana is sitting right over there. We came to like this really cute swim spot in the small city, like the town that we live in, and slay. I would show you guys the also this is like the first time I'm recording like this. By like this I mean like with my front camera, not with my back camera, but with how I'm sitting it just makes more sense to do that. I would like to show you guys my jar. ASMR moment. If you don't know, I do have an ASMR channel. You should go subscribe if you find it. I will say the name is not that much different from my name on anything else, but yeah, I had in this jar a tea that I made last night and then refrigerated this morning. What was it? Hibiscus and strawberries with a little bit of honey in it. It was very good. Absolutely delicious. 10 out of 10 would do that again. Huh? Ivana says she wants more of it. I'm like, Honestly, I think after recording this episode, I'd be down to go back home. Slay. Yeah, I was just like looking. I was like, okay, well, I'm here. I brought the microphone. I said I was gonna make an episode. The episode is now a day late, like last week, but it's coming. Better late than never. Better late than never, you know? And what's it called? Yeah, I was just looking at I was telling Ivana this just now too. I was like, it's so crazy. Like I've had so many things like on my mind, like for the past month and a half, 2 months, that I haven't had to look at my list of like recommendations, like of ideas. So I have a folder on my notes page and it says what this girl thinks about. And I haven't had to look at that to get an idea of what to talk about in a podcast episode in a hot minute, you know? And I guess it's also because, you know, your girl hasn't been consistent or anything. Like, I've been more consistent lately than I've been the entire time I've been living out here in Spain. But, again, better late than never. And like I was saying in the last episode, if you cannot be consistent, you must be persistent. Ivana said, This is so funny to have a live audience. This is so funny. But, what's it called? Yeah, when I was just looking at the notes app, like the thing in my phone, the notes, I was like, ooh, you know what sounds good? Talking about being the love of your life without being an a-hole about it. Again, we shall repeat that. Being the love of your life without being an a-hole about it. And I was like, ooh, that'd be a good one. And I said that out loud. I was like, Ivana, what do you think? And she's like, wait, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, you want to know what that means? That's what we're doing the episode about. That's literally what we're doing the episode about. And so I will say straight off the bat, oh my God, not the bug trying to get at my nose. I will say straight off the bat that to me, being the love of your life without being an asshole about it is like putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself, and without disregarding the feelings of other people. Like, let's say, like, and communicating well about that to let people know that you're not disregarding their feelings, you're not disregarding what they're asking of you, or like you're taking things into perspective, but you're also not allowing someone else's expectation of you determine what you will do. You're not waiting for validation from an external source, and you're taking actions into your own hand, and you're being responsible and mindful of your actions and your words in a way that benefits you but also doesn't disregard how other people feel. Like, you can put yourself first without being an asshole about it. Like, you can put yourself first without being an asshole about it. Like, you can prioritize your mental health, but also be openly communicating to other people and tell them that this is just what you've got to do. You can prioritize your own wants or needs or whatever, while also giving people grace to do what they need or what they want to do in their own lives. Like, not everything is about you, but also you don't have to wait for someone else to be ready to do what you want to do in order to do it, if that makes sense. I'm gonna give like an example of sorts. So for my birthday this past year, LMAO, it's still 2025. For my birthday this year, I did a lot. And what I was thinking, I had a lot of ideas of what I wanted to do for my birthday, and there was like a lot of different curveballs and things that were happening around like the planning time and all this stuff. And then I just got like really drained because I didn't feel connected to like the original idea. I wanted to do a barbecue, and then I didn't feel connected to the idea much of anymore. Like, felt like the planning of it had the fun part going away, which is like, I didn't want to step into my 23rd year of life being stressed in that sense of like, I feel like I'm trying to do things to please people, but also overstressing myself in that process. When I was like, girl, it's literally your birthday. It's literally your birthday. You can decide what you want to do for your birthday. Like, it's okay to prioritize yourself in this moment. Like, it's not the end of the world if you change your mind. You know, you're allowed to change your mind. So yeah, what I ended up doing was, like, before I was so rudely cut off by my phone saying that the temperature is too high. Goodness gracious. Can you hear me anymore? Huh? Oh, slay. But what's it called? Was that for my birthday this year, I ended up having like basically a series of parties, right? There was a celebration at the school that I was working at. They were lovely and stunning about it. By it, I mean my birthday. And then that Wednesday, I hosted a lunch with my roomies and Kata, and yeah, one of my roomies had a friend of hers in town, so she was of course invited. She was staying with us, and that was only enough people to fill up the amount of like chairs that we had that we could put in our dining room. Why is my screen going dark? I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch that very carefully. And that was very lovely. It was a 3-course meal that I made voluntarily because I really wanted to do that, and it was really sweet. It was really, really nice. And then that Saturday, my actual birthday, I had hosted. Oh my gosh, screen, stop going dark, please, for the love of all that is holy, please stop going dark. That Saturday, what's it called? Yeah, that Saturday I had the picnic in the park. And then after the picnic in the park, I also had, like, we did karaoke in, like, the next city over from us, which was, again, very, very lovely, very nice. But the amount of chairs that we had in our dining room for that Wednesday dinner, we had 4 chairs, and then we had to add one from the kitchen because my roommate's friend was in town. And then for the picnic, the picnic and karaoke, everybody that I knew or have met so far where I live was invited, and I had lots of fun being able to do all the things with everybody, especially on my actual birthday, and also having fulfilled what I wanted to do, which was like a smaller meal in addition to like a bigger, like, actual party of it all. Okay, I'm tying this back to the whole thing of being the love of your life without being an a-hole about it, like prioritizing yourself while also taking other people's thoughts and ideas in. Oh my goodness. Like I said it before and I'll say it again. If you cannot be consistent, be what? Persistent. Goodness gracious. If I'm not persistent, I don't know what the heck I am, dude. The screen just went off after I just kept watching it every other turn of my face, watching the screen to make sure the screen didn't go off. But anyways, like I was saying, Ilana's now watching me from down there because I had to move where I was because I was in the sun, and that's why it said that the temperature was too hot. Okay, so yeah, I think that I was getting too overwhelmed as I was doing the original planning of my birthday party because I wanted to involve all the people that I have met and have connected with. But at the same time, I didn't want to overwhelm myself with like the cooking and the cleaning, but I still wanted to have a meal, but I still wanted to celebrate with everybody. And then in the midst of like being confused and everything about that, I booked myself like a solo trip to Budapest, one of my favorite cities in the world. And I was there for a weekend, met new people, and I feel like I got new perspective. And then I came back like, because I went like the second to last weekend of March. My birthday was that first weekend of April. Came back with like a week to plan and do everything, and I did it, and everything turned out great because I gave myself space to think about everything else and not just be a complete people pleaser and then be unsatisfied, be unhappy with the original plan. And instead of like completely X-naying the whole plan like I wanted to just before I went to Budapest because I was so overwhelmed, and I was like, you know what, fuck, I'm not supposed to be cursing on this. Frick this and frick everyone. I don't want to do anything. I'm gonna stay at home. I don't want to talk to anybody. All that stuff. Instead of getting entirely in my head like that, I'm so happy and grateful that I was able to give myself space and a minute to relax and be alone and go somewhere that I really, really love and just think on my own and get a new perspective of life and everything and all that fun stuff. So yeah, after going to Budapest, came back here, and I was like, you know what? I have a new idea. I have a new plan. And then I started to plan to do like the lunch and then the party on my actual birthday with the karaoke included. When I was telling people about, by people, I mean my housemates, my roommates, my lovely, lovely roommates, about, I think even, I think that's all that I was told. I don't know. They're like, Caitlin, isn't that a lot? Like, you must really, you like, that's a lot. That's like, you're gonna be celebrating yourself like the whole week. Like, that's a lot of celebrating yourself. And I was like, well, I am alive. I am alive, and I just went on a lovely holiday, and I have a new perspective on the world right now, and it's my birthday. If you don't want to celebrate, womp womp, you don't have to celebrate. It's my birthday. I want to celebrate me and the fact that I'm alive and the fact that my mama went through freaking a long labor, freaking almost bled out on the delivery table to have me, to bring me into this world, and I'm here. And I'm not gonna be quiet about it. Like, it's not necessary for me to be quiet about it. I'm here, I've got ideas, I've got opinions. Like, I'm a nice person. Why would I not want to do this for myself? Like, why would I start to dim my light now when I started doing that and then I got over it? Like, I've done so much already. Why would I stop now? You know what I mean? Why would I not celebrate? Anyways, I was like, oh, that's crazy. You don't have to come to everything if you don't want to. And I continue to plan, and I'm so grateful, thankful that I was loving myself so much that I was planning all of this and actually stuck with it all. Is this thing flying away? This is not flying away. I thought it was flying away. It is not flying away. Slay. But yeah, like, again, after hearing that, oh my god, isn't that celebrating yourself too much? Like, that's a lot. You're like doing too much. I was like, hold on. My sister-in-law did not have me blasting the song. What is it? Doing Too Much by Cash Doll when I was 14 for no reason. Okay, doing too much. You'd be like, shut up, you ain't doing enough. Womp womp. What? Womp womp womp. But like, yeah. And then, so yeah, I feel like the lunch was to fulfill what I wanted to do and like what I wanted to have like a really good meal and put on like a fancy kind of like lunch food eating like a meal because I wanted to do something like very cutesy, very like the fancy. It's giving I am my mother's daughter it's giving luncheon, and it was really cute. It was lovely. It was stunning. And then that Saturday was also just like so much fun because everybody got to celebrate together, and they were able to hang out together. We had like a lovely picnic in the sun. The weather was stunning, and then it was suggested by Ivana's cousin Sandra to do the karaoke. I think I think that was suggested by her, right? And then I love that I was able to include that into my birthday because also because we are big haters of the DJ at the place called Forum. And like when we were all like being such big haters about this dude because he's getting better. But anyways, when we were all being big haters about this dude, I was like, you know what? I would love to put on like an actual like big like party like we're all going out like a club night type of party where there's like English music and it's a good mix and it's good vibes and there's drinks and all this stuff. And when we did the karaoke in the next city over, we booked a private room, and that private room ended up being like so lit, and it had like seating and a stage and a private bar. We didn't get to use the private bar because there weren't enough like bartenders on staff that night, but the vibe that was giving and the lights and like the little like there wasn't like the lighting and everything, it gave like I was having a good old time. We were messed up the dance floor, homie, and that's exactly what I like originally wanted to do for my birthday. And I was really happy that we were able to include that into the whole like actual big birthday celebration and have everybody that wanted to come, everybody that like I've met, connected with, show up and show out and just have a generally good time celebrating life together. Right? Just like, wait, hold on, let me grab the air real quick, hold my drink, hold my glasses. I'm just gonna be head beating right now. Like, make way, make space. Let me plant my feet. Because it was so great. It was so great. I feel like that was the epitome of meeting people and like being with people for so long abroad. Like that night. It was such a great day. It was such a great day and great night and great week and top 5 birthdays for sure. We had the picnic during the day. There was like time to decompress, change, whatever, and then we had like our own essentially like club night karaoke party in the evening in the next city over nonetheless. I feel like it couldn't have been better. But in that sense, I felt really fulfilled for my whole birthday week because I prioritized myself. I was putting so much love into myself that I felt like I was able to spread that love to other people. So I was loving myself, prioritizing myself, being the love of my life is so hard without being a what? An asshole about it. Does that example like give more sense? Yeah? You said that like unsure. Huh? In what scenario would I what? Would you have been an asshole about it? Ivana says that it does make sense, but in what scenario would I have been an asshole about it? Girl, I could tell you. I said it before and I said it again. I feel like I calm down, I give myself grace, and I give other people grace before I crash out on people. Because I'm not a big fan of crashing out on people. But like if I need to pookie, I will. ¿Sabes? So like, how would I have been an asshole about it? People asked me questions. People were asking me questions. I had several opportunities to be an asshole about this. I'm not gonna lie. One of them, I almost crashed out on Sandra because I had sent out like the invite thing, the website that I made and everything at 3 a.m. Like Tuesday morning or something like this. I didn't sleep like at all that night. I think I slept like 3.5 hours. Woke up the next day, went to school. Like if I sent it out, depending on the day, I think it must have been like a Tuesday, But I feel like that was just like a rough day at school that day as well. And then traffic getting to and from school, and I just like hadn't really slept, and I still had tutoring to do that afternoon or something, right? And I was so freaking tired, yeah? I was on the phone with my mom as I'm coming in the door to go, like, to get home after school. After we sat in traffic on our way home, X, Y, and Z. And Sandra sends a text message to the group chat. And she's like, wait, actually, can we start the karaoke earlier? Or something of this sort. And I was like, so she's like, so we can have, like, 2 hours to do karaoke. And I was like, do you want to know what I actually did? I was on the phone. My mom was like, wait, I was on the phone with my mom. And then also Mel was sitting on the couch. And I was like unlocking the door as I was like, oh my God, Mom, oh my freaking God, you're never gonna freaking believe what the, oh my God, if people would just freaking read the freaking document, I did the whole freaking, oh my God, you're gonna be so freaking for real right now. Like, I just did this whole thing, and if you would look at the freaking timestamp, I sent it at 3 Hi, Mel. Hi. Okay, so Mom, basically what happened was I sent the freaking thing at 3 a.m., right? I sent it at 3 a.m. Now she's gonna text me. Mom, my mom's like, girl, wait, what'd you send? Like, what's going on? Like, wait, what just happened? I'm like, Mom. So I sent my invitation to my birthday party, yeah? At 3 a.m., yeah? Mind you, I've thought about every which way. I've looked at all the routes because I'm like an over planner in some things. I like to make sure that things will go as cohesively, as smoothly as possible. So I look at the different routes. I looked at different bus routes, different blah blah car options to get to and from, different train routes to get to and from, so people would be able to come back home and sleep in their beds and not have to like worry about booking something overnight, X, Y, and Z of that sort. And the way that I organized like the whole itinerary and everything, we would have 2 hours of karaoke because we would start at 7 and end at 9, and be ready in time to leave at 10 p.m. to get like the last transit home back to where we live, right? And I was like, babe, if you would look at the time that I sent this out, number one, at 3 a.m., maybe think I have not slept. Please don't ask me no questions. And look at how I felt like the website was quite intricate, given it was a Canva website. It had music playing, like it was quite intricate for being free. And number two, at the bottom, like the last thing on the page was like the actual itinerary for the day. And I was like, no, we can't really start it earlier unless we want to be running from the trains or the buses whenever people get into town. If we want to be running from the picnic to the trains, and then getting off the trains to the karaoke place, I was like, unless you want to be running around, we cannot start this earlier. And I had already put 2 hours of karaoke in the itinerary, and the question was, can we start earlier so we can have 2 hours of karaoke instead of 1? Or something like that. And I was like, there already is 2 hours of karaoke in this thing. What the f*** you want from me?
I must stand by her. I feel like she wouldn't have asked. I feel like she asked for 2 hours and there was 1 hour, or she asked me. But we are long karaokeers. Like, anytime we go karaoke, we spend about 3 hours. So that's my
I was like, also, I had not slept, and so, and I'm like, I overlook at things and everything, right? And I was like, literally, unless because I was like, okay, realistically, me knowing myself, I was late to the picnic, but I was late in a way where I knew other people were going to be later, and we're gonna take our time. I want to like actually be able to play games, like, and not have to like rush through everything in order to run to the transit to get to where we needed to be. And I was like, it's sunny, like it's good weather, and it's a big group. Like if I rush anything, like nothing's gonna get done. Like, or if somebody's gonna be angry, like if someone wants to eat in the middle of this time, X, Y, and Z, because they didn't eat enough at the picnic. I was like, we have got to give some leeway space for flexibility, right? And I hadn't slept. Ivana says she stands by Sandra, and I'm like, they're one and the same person. I'm like, it makes so much sense. They're one and the same person, like literally the best way possible. They're so close, and it's such a beautiful bond that they have. But I was just like crashing out. If I had responded exactly in that moment to her, I would have been so mean. Like, I could have, like, oh, just because I was like, I was going home so that I could sleep as well. Mom was like, Caitlin, get off this phone. You need to sleep. You need to sleep. And I was like, I do, but I need to eat first, because if I wake up hungry, I'm gonna be more mad. So that was, and then I took a nap, ate something, and then I responded, and I was like, okay, cool, and it was all good. Which, like, it was fine. It was all good. But I was like, I need to woosah before. Because if I respond right now, I'm going to bite somebody's heads off for no real reason. Besides the fact that I'm tired and now I'm hangry and I'm tired. And what's it called? And everyone was asking me what we were doing for my birthday, too, leading up to it. Because it was, like, on a Saturday. And I was like, oh, my God, what are we doing for your birthday? And I was like, what do you mean, what are we doing? Don't you mean, what am I doing? Because before I went to Budapest, I was just like getting so overwhelmed with everything, and we hadn't had a school break in ages at that point, and the kids were just like so ready for a break, and I was so ready for a break, and the teachers were ready for a break, and the bus drivers were ready for a break, and it was just time. And yeah, like even now, there's like, yeah. Also, I feel like in that sense, I loved myself enough in that moment to take myself to sleep and eat something and then not be an asshole and respond back to her when I felt more alive. Like, even also, I feel like that's also just not being mean. Like, you have a choice to not be mean. Like, if you can choose kindness, choose kindness. Like, Grace, who's gonna be my new roommate, like the roommate that's coming from Australia, they remember when all the like paperwork and everything for the auxes and stuff was like screwed up. She had gotten her like the certification. They told her, no, it's fine, you want to stay in your schools, we'll just stay in your school. And I was hearing nothing for a while, and everyone else was like getting their information. I'm just like, I'm hearing nothing. She had texted me to ask like for information or like a update on what was going on with my situation, and I like looked at the message. I almost crashed out because I was like, I know that she doesn't exactly know what's going on with my situation. I gave her like a light synopsis, but she was asking for a simple update because she wants to move in this coming year. But I was like, I literally cannot. I'm so stressed. I'm like near crying like all the time because I was so stressed about whether or not I would have a placement. And then they told me that there was no placements available, and I was just like, please be so for real right now. And I already told all of y'all about that whole situation and all that, but I was like, okay, I need to give this a couple days before I respond to her, because if you can choose kindness, choose kindness. It might take some time, might take more time, but in the end, it's a good thing that I did, because she did not deserve my snipiness or nothing like that. She did nothing to deserve that, so why would I give her that? I didn't, obvi, which is why she still wants to room together this coming year. But yeah, if you can choose kindness, choose kindness. There's like a couple of other things, like I was telling Yvonne about a couple other things on our walk here, about like my summer plans changing and everything, and how it's okay to prioritize yourself sometimes. But yeah, I'm gonna stop there before I get on a whole another rant. Essentially, this is where we are. Isn't the water beautiful? Stunning. So slay mama. Ivana, do you want to wave hello? Ivana's been down there. I think we're gonna pop back into the water and whatnot. People are over there watching me, and I find that so freaking hilarious. Social anxiety, no, what is it? Social anxiety is scared of me. It fears me. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for listening, for watching, and live, laugh, love, and slay. Song of the week is Doing Too Much by Cash Doll. Listen to it. Yeah, besitos. Bye. Mom, please don't say I'm dramatic again.